So today we'll learn about the otitis media. I'll make a series of videos on the otitis media covering each topic, subtopic in otitis media. So this video mainly covers the acute suppurative otitis media. So generally what is otitis media means inflammation of the mucosal lining of the middle ear cleft. So there is a mucosal lining in the middle ear and the contents of middle ear cleft like eustachian tube, tympanic cavity and mastoid antrum, which leads into the mastoid air cell system, and these are all are the contents of the middle ear cleft. So the mucosa inside this get inflamed and it is called as otitis media. So generally in two books there are two different classifications. Whichever you feel easy you can follow. I'll tell both the classifications. This classification is based on the suppuration, that is pus formation. So otitis media with suppuration, there are two types: acute suppurative otitis media and chronic suppurative otitis media. In chronic suppurative otitis media, CSOM, there are two types again. There are tubotympanic disease and atticoantral disease. We'll know about each of them clearly, so don't worry if you don't understand this classification. At last I will again revise so that you can understand easily. So just remember that in chronic suppurative otitis media there are tubotympanic and atticoantral type, and other types of chronic suppurative otitis media like tuberculosis, syphilis, diphtheria also causes the chronic suppurative otitis media. And non-suppurative otitis media, we have otitis media with effusion, adhesive otitis media, tympanosclerosis, otic barotrauma. Otic barotrauma is a condition in which whenever we go from high pressure to low pressure areas or low pressure to high pressure areas, there are changes in the pressure difference between the eustachian tube and the middle ear, middle ear and the outer environment. So this causes acute non-suppurative otitis media. It is an acute condition, whereas these three are again chronic types, okay. So other classification is based on the acute or chronic disease. Acute means less than 6 weeks and chronic means greater than 3 months. So otitis media is again classified into acute otitis media and chronic otitis media. In acute we know non-suppurative means I have said that it is barotrauma. It is a non-suppurative, and whenever we go from high pressure to low pressure to high pressure, the changes will cause barotrauma. And acute otitis media with suppuration. Now today's topic is this, okay. So we'll see. And chronic otitis media, it is non-suppurative and suppurative. Non-suppurative otitis media with effusion, adhesive otitis media, tympanosclerosis. In suppuration we have two types: tubotympanic, atticoantral. So atticoantral is also called as dangerous disease, okay. We'll see about it. And now we'll go to acute suppurative otitis media. So it is a 10 marks question, so this is the exam notes, you can follow easily. And first we'll see definition, etiology, and next pathophysiology, clinical features. In clinical features there are different stages. In each stage we'll see about the pain, signs, symptoms and treatment. So first, coming to definition, it is the acute inflammation of the mucosal lining of the middle ear cleft. So by the suppurative organisms. So which organisms will cause mainly the acute suppurative otitis media is streptococci mainly, next pneumococci, and Haemophilus influenza, Moraxella and Pseudomonas. You just see that these all will cause upper respiratory tract infections mostly. You just remember like that, okay. So remember this order: streptococci, pneumococci, H. influenza, Moraxella and Pseudomonas. So next we have the etiology. How this disease is caused is, we know children will play in dust areas and also playgrounds, and and also they have decreased immunity. So what happens is they frequently get the upper respiratory tract infections. So for example, chronic rhinitis, chronic tonsillitis and adenitis, and chronic sinusitis. So what happens is these infections from here will ascend through the eustachian tube and go to the middle ear. So there is in the eustachian tube of the children, it is mostly horizontal, not like adults, so easily transmitted to the middle ear. Okay, this is the main etiological factor. And other is tympanic perforation. Whenever there is a perforation in the tympanic membrane, infections can go. And hematological blood-borne infections, whenever there are infection in the blood, it can pass, like in case of septicemia, but it is very rare. You can remember this diagram. You can see from the eustachian tube, from the perforated tympanic membrane, and the blood vessels. So this is about the etiology. So next is pathophysiology of ASOM. We'll see pathophysiology and clinical features in the next video. Pathophysiology, you can see here, whenever we have viral upper respiratory tract infections, what happens is there is decreased mucociliary clearance due to cilia get damaged, increased bacterial colonization, increased bacterial adhesion to the area, and decreased immune response. These are the favoring factors, so that it causes the ascending bacterial infections via the eustachian tube. And also one more feature is, whenever there is secretions and increased edema of the eustachian tube, there is eustachian tube dysfunction. So what happens is the negative pressure of the middle ear will be increased. So whenever negative pressure increases, it will suck the infection from the other parts into the middle ear. And also the main sources are adenoid tonsils, which have mainly harbor the bacteria. So all these factors will lead to acute otitis media. So, and also other important factors is mucus accumulation in the middle ear, which favors the growth of the bacteria, so it causes the suppuration. Next clinical features will continue in the next video. We'll make series of videos and we'll complete it. Okay.